Hey, Farmer Marshall here. I'm out here in the garden doing a little bit of work. Beautiful Saturday afternoon down here in Georgia. Probably about maybe 75 degrees, somewhere around there. And I know a lot of you are in areas where you can still have an active garden this time of year. But down here in Georgia, I can still do some planting this time of year and grow throughout the year. What I put down now, I may harvest some before Thanksgiving. The rest of it, I'll harvest, February, March, April, until I get ready to do my spring garden. So I have some starts here, and this is just some cabbage I got at your local big box store. Incredibly expensive now, but I just imagine how much it would cost me to buy this in a store. So I went and bought some extra starts because my garden is filling up nicely as far as the plants I have down, and they've been in the ground maybe 2-3 weeks, and they're growing well. And even though I haven't completely pulled up all of my spring summer garden, because I do still have a few pepper plants out here. Got some okra on the side of the house in the other little garden. I have some, what else do I have? I know I have peppers, okra. Oh, I have some green beans I need to pick up. Matter of fact, right after I finish this video here. So, and as you can see, if you've seen some of my other videos from my garden, this is why you haven't seen me much in a while. Because I've been working on this all spring, summer. The old fence was getting kind of rickety. Um, Dogs were running in and out. So I'm almost finished with this section here so a bear and prince can stay in the yard, and hopefully I won't be having sleepless nights thinking about them escaping or having dreams about them escaping. Um, so I have about 6 plants here, so I kind of pre-dug some holes out, and really what you want to do is you want to get your holes dug out maybe probably about 6 inches, turn the soil. I'm not sure how well you can see it right now, but I have wood chips all throughout the garden. And I put cardboard boxes down first and then did the wood chips. And it's amazing how well the wood chips did for stopping weeds and also for water retention. It did very well on the weeds. It did not do that well with some of your grasses, weedy grasses. I don't know if these are actually weeds or considered grass, or maybe they're just considered both. But as far as other weeds, didn't have to do anything with weeds. So I had some little weedy grasses coming up here and there, but in general, it wasn't bad. And it wasn't nearly the type of work I used to have to do before I started putting wood chips down. Another thing I mentioned about wood chips is they're great for water retention. In these long, hot summers, your plants go dry a lot quicker. But having wood chips down with the cardboard, it helped it keep the ground much more moist. Not saturated, it just helped it make it so that it didn't dry out, 1 or 2 days after it rained or after you watered it. So the soil's pretty good, but since I did use this soil for the spring summer garden, one thing I always do is I add some cow manure or chicken manure. I just have cow manure right now. The big box store doesn't carry chicken manure, so I figured I'll just do it with cow manure right now. Even though I was at the another garden center today, and they do carry chicken manure, but I didn't think about it because I was trying to find some muscadine starch, which I haven't been able to find in about 2 years. So I just usually just take a scoop of cow manure. This will help feed the plant for a while. One good scoop should do, or if you want to, you can even put two scoops because you're going to just not leave it in a pile like that. you're going to mix it into the soil. Because that's probably about how much I would have put down if I was going to drop it down with the shovel. So 1 or 2 scoops. And then a taste peat moss. This helps the soil retain some moisture. Helps loosen up my clay soil. And actually, there's one thing that Farmer Marshall forgot. So give me like, about 10-20 minutes. I'll be right back. Just kidding. It's up on my deck, so I'll be right back. I'm sure you can hear me running upstairs and sniffing and coughing and whatever else. Sure, that was entertaining. And you might be able to hear me that I'm out of breath now. So, some blood meal. Always mix this into my plants. So, or at least into certain plants. Sprinkle some in. Now, if your soil is loose enough, you can just do it like that. And you can get it mixed in deep enough so your plant will have nutrition in the soil and deeper down in the soil as you go. And that's one key to growing your plants. Not everyone has good soil to start out with, but if you use the right things over the course of years, you create good soil. And the wood chips will biodegrade and break down and add nutrients to the soil. Well, I just added some instant nutrients, so don't necessarily have to worry about them waiting for wood chips to break down. So I'm basically gonna put these in the holes here, dig them down, maybe so the soil comes up to about here. I don't know if you can see that well. Maybe to the soil comes up to about right here, maybe 1/2 inch above the dirt line here. And I'm going to water them in, because guarantee if I don't water them in, by tomorrow they'll be drooping. 2 or 3 days, definitely damaged. A week, dead. So give me a moment. If I can find my little digger here. Don't know if you can quite see me, but trust me, I'm working hard here. But I'm not going to take a lot of time having you watch me plant the rest of those. But what I did want to do, I want to show you a few things around the garden. These guys here, showed these before, but those are muscadine plants all along here. And something I have right here, if you ever wonder where to put your tomato plants, I just put them on, not tomato plants, your green beans. I just put them on some something you can plant tomatoes on. They grew right up around it, and they grew well. In fact, I still have some green beans up on here. Most of the rest of them I've already picked, and it's getting kind of cool, so they're starting to die. So I gotta remember to get these because this is have a nice little spot here for some more plants. And I've always talked about the muscadines. These guys are just about done. We've picked most of them. I ate a bunch of them, and my wife made some muscadine jam. Haven't tasted it yet. She made it a couple days ago, so I might have to check that out for breakfast, Sunday morning breakfast. Maybe some waffles with some muscadine jam. So I do still have, don't know if you can see, pepper plants, banana peppers still out here. Pepper plants are usually one of the last summer things I pull up. The plants aren't looking great right now because it's pretty much time for them to be gone. And as you can see, oh, that's Bear. Bear wants to be famous, so he's always in videos. If you can't see him all the time, you can generally hear him. So, but this is how the garden's looking for October 1st. You'll have cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower. What else? Oh, collard. Working on muscadine. Not muscadine. I'm too focused on muscadines. Mustard greens, turnip greens by seed. They've started to come up. Also spinach. So the seeds have started to come up there. So hopefully in the next, I don't know, hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks I'll be able to actually put them in the ground. Well, I just planted them about 14 days ago. So they've come up. They're just not big enough for me to actually put them in the ground here. At least not easily because they're fairly small. But that's fine. As long as I get some. And one thing I always do is, I'm only going to plant so many plants, but I think I'll probably just do them like I used to do the collard greens. I'll cut leaves off of them as they get bigger, but leave the plant and leave some leaves on there so they can keep growing. And, basically cut some, leave some, cut some, leave some. And they just keep growing and growing and growing. And those plants will keep growing through, I'll probably keep them growing through March, April, depends on when it starts getting hot and things start going to seed. But I've done that where I basically have cut the plant to much of nothing 3 times, and they just grow back up, and I just keep going. So even if you bought 5 plants, those plants could give you enough for 10, 15 plants if you do it right. Back in the day, before I knew better, I used to just put them up, just cut them down from the root, or just pull them up from the root and harvest them, and never even thought about actually having more plants. So just a suggestion. Not everyone does it, but the leaves are just as tender and the stuff tastes just as good, and you're getting more than your money's worth. So now I know I just showed you some, excuse me, I had to come through the little gate here. I know you're probably getting vertigo just watching me. So, but what we're doing, I'm finished up the last of my fruits and vegetables. See my old swimming pool back here, which is gone. Check that down. Probably gonna do a little fire pit, a little fire pit. I have a bunch of brush and stuff to burn, so I'll use that area. Might redo the pool next year, not sure. Here's my peach tree. It was actually supposed to be a combination tree. They had peaches, plums, and nectarines on it. But I think the cuttings that were put on the tree, because the tree was looking pretty decent, but the summer hit it, and actually I think bear got to it. So I don't know if it's going to produce nectarines or plums at all. He might have gotten to those parts, but it will produce peaches. I'm not sure if I'm going to let it produce any this year or whether next year. Once it gets big enough, I'll let it, you know, um, give me some peaches. But I need it to get bigger and stronger. But one of my last fruits, well, actually my last fruit for the year, will be these ugly tomatoes. Just kidding, they're not tomatoes. This is my persimmon tree. Kind of look like ugly tomatoes though. They, you know, obviously the tomatoes wouldn't be quite right, but these will get a little oranger, and they're my last fruit of the season. So I don't know why it doesn't look like I'm looking at the camera. I'm looking straight at the camera. Maybe I should turn this way and look. So I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, but these are the persimmons. Love them. If you want fruit for most of the year, I will still be picking these. It's maybe mid-November. I know last year I think I still had some on the tree in December, and this tree is maybe 5, 6 years old. It's maybe 10 feet tall. Yeah, probably about 10, 15, 10, 12 feet tall, and it's not going to get huge. It might get a little lot bigger than this, but not much bigger. And this tree will produce 100 fruit. I'm not going to eat 100 of these. I'm going to give half of them to my sister-in-law because she loves them. My wife hates them. My daughter is not impressed. My sister's not impressed. My son's not impressed. No one's impressed except for my sister-in-law. My brother doesn't like them. So that's fine. We can eat 100 of them. I gave her a bunch this week, and she started eating them the next day. I'm like, cool. I've had a few, but you know, usually they start out green. Most of them have started turning orange, and they'll get darker orange and fill in some as far as the color. But I love these. It's my last fruit of the season. Hey, you know, I don't like going to the grocery store and buying fruit because these cost about, jeez, it's been a while since I've checked the price, but I think they were about $6, $7 a pound. That's freaking ridiculous. I can grow this stuff. The tree was maybe $30 a few years ago. Even if you bought it now, even if the tree costs you $50, imagine $6, $7 a pound. I think I'd just rather take it for free after my tree starts producing. And it's a carefree tree. All I'll do is I pour some, I'll take a bucket, toss a little cow manure in it, put some water in there, and pour it over the root ball of the tree. That's it. If it's, okay, bug, get my, if it's a drought, I water it some, but you know what? In general, I don't have to do much to this tree at all, except for look at it, grab some fruit, and eat. Perfect. Anyway, so I have other projects to do. I stopped cutting my head off. See my fence? I know I pointed it out over there, but I'm much happier. Um, I'm not going to finish it this year because I worked my butt off this year on this. Between this and working and doing everything else I have to do, I'm going to leave one section free. You'll see what it used to look like. Ah! Taller, more secure. So in this section over here of the yard, it's about maybe 12, 14 sections. I'll do that in the spring. For right now, I'm just gonna leave that section over there ugly. I have some spare boards in case the old stuff starts breaking off and my dogs decide they want to try to escape. God willing, they won't. Anyway, so I guess that's about all for today. And if you have time, if you live in the right zone, 7A, 7B, wherever down there, or way over there to the left coast, not being political, to the left side of the country, you might be able to grow some stuff. Or get a greenhouse. You might still be able to grow some stuff. So anyway, I know it's late in the year, and a lot of you can't really do this right now. Let's go get a little dirty, okay? Oh, should I start singing? Maybe I start singing at the end of my videos. Anyway, Farmer Marshall, like I said, let's go get a little dirty. Also, I always forget to say, please like, give me a thumbs up, comments, share the video, subscribe. Hey, there you go. I need some more subscribers. But I will start putting out more videos. And Bear saying, subscribe to Daddy's videos, please. Anyway, take care.